Seen this question come up quite a bit. We get this question all the time at DoorGrow, and there's a lot of confusion around how to pay a BDM. So what's a BDM? A business development manager. This is basically a salesperson for your property management business. So how should you pay this person, right? So let's talk about this, because if you make mistakes with this, they won't be doing their job. They won't be adding doors, etc. Now, first, you got to make sure you have the right person. Not everybody can do this. They need to be the right personality type. If you need help with hiring, reach out to us at DoorGrow. Talk to us about DoorGrow hiring, and talk to us about maybe joining our mastermind. But let's talk about what to pay a BDM. Okay. So the challenge with BDMs is that they need to be driven salespeople. And if they are a driven salesperson, you don't want to de-incentivize or kill incentive. So when talking about paying them, there's usually the challenge of base versus commission, right? And what a lot of property managers want to do, business owners, they want to just pay pure commission, like 100% commission. They're like, this is all upside for me and no downside for me. If they make money, I make money, and that's fair, and it's a win-win. Now, here's why this is not fair, because basically you're asking this person to starve, usually for 1 to 3 months while they build up a sales pipeline. And, you're asking them to starve for months. Nobody wants to starve. So then sometimes people are like, well, I'll give them a draw, I'll give them some money, and then I'll just pay them a commission. Here's where commission does not make sense. If you are expecting them to generate leads, to do lead generation, or to go and do prospecting, or to do any work to get business, then, which is what a business development person typically does, then you cannot pay them pure commission. Pure commission is for salespeople that are pure closers. So if they are a pure closer, which means there are setters, which means you have like lead generation, maybe you're paying for leads or whatever you're doing, you are giving them leads and you are giving them appointments, then they're just closing, then you can pay a closer pure commission, because all they have to do is close and they can live off of pure commission. Now, that's not typically what a BDM does, so we're going to erase all that. We're not doing that. So what we want to do is we want to have a base and a commission. The base is a salary, right? So we want to pay a certain amount of salary, but the challenge is we don't want to pay too high, right? And we don't want to pay too low, right? We don't want to pay too much or too little, right? So why would it be a problem if we're paying too much? Then we're losing out on money. And here's the thing. Here's the big secret. You need to figure out what is their comfort level when it comes to their cost of living. What do they need in order to, typically in your market, in order to live normally or comfortably? You have to pay them a base that is less than that if you want them to be motivated to actually close deals. Because what happens if you pay higher than what they need in order to just basically have their needs met and to survive? They will be comfortable. And if they're comfortable, they don't need to go close any deals. They don't need to close any deals in order to eat, in order to live. They're not hungry. And good salespeople are naturally hungry. So we want to create a situation in which they can win and make even more money, but they're not paid enough on their base to just live off of. They need more than that. Okay. All right. So this is what we want to do. So we want to have a base that is somewhere down here, right? So this is our base and base salary. So they're getting a salary. So in a lot of markets, that might be, to give you some specifics, that might be maybe around 30 to 40K. Might not be enough for them to live comfortably in a year, right? 30 to 40K maybe. It could be a little higher, just depends on your market. And then you're going to pay the rest on commission. Now, you want to give them the opportunity, though, on commission where it's not going to be too high, but you want them to be able to make probably six figures. A good salesperson in most sales environments should be able to make a six-figure salary. So just depending on the market, you'll need to gauge what is normal for a really high-level salesperson or somebody that's crushing it. But you want them to be compensated in a way that they're making, let's say the minimum like 100K is possible. Let's say they could make 100K. So they've got a 30K base. That means the difference here is 70K, right? If they've got a 30K base. And so we want to then come up with a commission structure that allows them to fill in this gap right here. So 70K. And so then what we want to do is we want to figure out how many deals do we think they should be closing to be worth this, to be doing a really good job. My recommendation is a really good BDM that is full-time should be closing anywhere from like helping you add anywhere from, maybe 200 to 300 doors a year if they're really good. So if we divide that up, let's say 200, and we take 200 and we divide that by 12 months, right? That means monthly they should be adding maybe about 16, 17 doors, right? Which is not bad. So we're looking for somebody to do maybe between 10 to 20 doors. So what you want to do is figure out if they're doing at least 10, maybe up to 20 doors, like at the top, they could make this if they're doing like 20 doors. So then you want to figure out the commission structure, right? So 70K for the year. We divide that by 12. It comes out to like 5,834 per month. And if we take that and divide that by, I don't know, let's say 20 units a month, 22, let's see, 292 roughly is what it comes out to. So then maybe you want to pay them a commission of somewhere between $200 to $300, right? Maybe $300 per unit that they add on. Now, the big mistake I see people make with BDMs is they pay them some sort of residual. Never pay a residual, because what happens is this base then moves up and up and up if they're getting residual income. And once it passes this comfort line, they will get lazy and they will get comfortable. They should be paid for getting you new business, not for keeping business, because keeping business is the job of your property managers, your maintenance coordinators, everybody on the back end and fulfillment side. Their job is to bring in new business. So we don't want to give them any benefit or incentive for keeping business, which is everybody else's job. We just want to pay them for the related to the first month or bringing on a new client, right? So we pay them some sort of commission. So this is how I would go about figuring out how to pay a BDM. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this is helpful. And so what will happen is their base isn't enough. So if they get lazy and they're not focusing on prospecting, because you want a BDM that is out prospecting, out networking, using the right strategies. And these are the things that we can coach and support you on at DoorGrow, helping you have the right strategies if you are the business owner functioning as the BDM, or if you have a BDM and you want them to be focusing on the right strategies. We don't want to waste time on cold, crappy leads that have a low close rate of like below 10%. We want to focus on warm leads out in the blue ocean, people that are not looking on the internet for property management. We want to focus on creating business through realtor referrals, through the neighbor strategy, through networking, through prospecting methods, through the different growth strategies that we have clients doing that are helping them to add anywhere from 100 to 300 doors plus a year. And so if you're doing these things and you have a really good full-time BDM, you could easily be adding to 300. We have clients that have added over 300 doors a year just organically, without spending any money on advertising or any leads. That means you can cut your entire acquisition, like marketing cost, to nothing, pay for a BDM, and grow even faster, right? So you can shift that money towards a BDM. So my recommendation is stop all your advertising, stop all your marketing expense, work with DoorGrow. Let us coach and support you. Then let's help you get a BDM if you don't enjoy the sales piece. And if you do, then let's get you focused more on that and doing the right things and free up the rest of your time with building out the rest of the team. And then you can grow and scale dramatically, right? There's really only two ways to grow fast in this industry, and that is to acquire other companies or to do the organic growth stuff that we give you. Those are the two only ways to grow really rapidly. Anything else is usually advertising, cold leads. It's going to take a long time to nurture. It's going to be really expensive, and those take more time. And so if you really want to screw up your BDM, buy them a bunch of cold leads from APM or Geek or any of these services. Buy them a bunch of colder leads. And then the challenge is they will be in this muck and mire, wasting time with cold leads and not adding a bunch of doors. So definitely don't waste money paying a BDM and then giving them a bunch of cold, crappy leads. Let them figure out how to generate business by going out into the blue ocean and creating new market share. There's no scarcity out there. 70% are self-managing. There's tons of business. They're just not looking on the internet. Okay. Search volume, according to Google Trends, has not gone up for property management since they started tracking data in 2004. Yet competition there has gotten fierce. That's the red bloody water. There's tons of business out in the blue ocean. They're just not looking on the internet, and your BDM can help connect you to them and help get the clients on if they have the right strategies. You give us a good BDM and we plug them into the right system, they can crush it. We have the system at DoorGrowth. So, all right, this is how to pay a BDM. So don't make mistakes. Don't give out percentages of doors every month. Don't do that. Don't pay too high of a base. Don't try to do commission only, right? If you avoid all these mistakes, you will have a much better situation, and there is a chance at having success. And that's it for today. Talk to all of you soon. Reach out to us at DoorGrow. We would love to have you schedule a call with us. You can go to doorgrow.com and let's have a conversation and get your business growing. Growth is not hard when you have somebody doing the right things in the business to grow it. Bye, everyone.